Quick Save Podcast. My name is Alex.
I'm Josh.
And today we are talking about the one, the only...
Were you going to say it, or was I supposed to? Or
Shaun White. I'm leaving the room
Shaun
now.
White.
Bye.
Whoa, all right. This guy's going to Shaun White September right now.
No, it's Tony Hawk.
I was going to do a bit like this where you fell down the stairs, like...
Oh, no.
fall down the stairs. All right, now I got to go pick shit up. Give me a sec.
Dude just completely destroyed everything on the table.
It's Hawktober.
It is Hawktober, and we're back with yet another game of the Tony Hawk variety.
Yeah, we're playing Pro Skater 2.
Or as price charting just says, Tony Hawk 2.
Tony Hawk 2.
Forget the Pro Skater.
It's like a valid title, I guess.
If
you called it Tony Hawk 2, I would know what you were talking about. So, let's talk about when this game came out.
When did this game came out? Is this game of legal drinking age? Can I play that game?
Yes.
Okay, so what? The PlayStation came out in like what? 98, 99? Somewhere in there?
Yes.
Let's see. This would have been close to date. Some of this came out in 2000.
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, on PlayStation 1, the original console came out on September 20th, 2000. Had a couple later release dates for different consoles. The one I have here is on the N64. It came out almost a full year later, August 21st.
That's wild.
2001. So, yeah, almost a year later on the 64.
It's definitely synonymous with the PlayStation.
Right.
You hear the PlayStation
both
boot
Tony
up
Hawks,
screen,
yeah.
and you're just like, yes, Tony Hawk.
Okay, do you want to hear who developed it? Do you want to guess who developed it?
Oh, God, who developed it? Like,
should be a layup for
Activision
PS1.
published.
Yep, correct. They made every other one.
Neversoft?
Correct.
All right.
Neversoft.
I was like,
Neversoft developed on PS1. Edge of Reality on N64. Vicarious Visions on the Advance. Natsume released on the Game Boy Color. And then Treyarch on the Dreamcast. There was also another one for the PC that I did not write down.
Treyarch on the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Who would later go on to do
Call of Duty Black Ops.
And Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, which is way better than Call of Duty Black Ops. So,
fine. I was gonna try to argue that, and I'm like, I can't.
So yeah, plot there is none. This is we're still in like Tony Hawk era where it's like play levels. That's the game. Arcade skating.
Play levels, complete goals. There you go. Goodbye.
Right, but don't goodbye. Listen to the rest of the episode, please. This game adds a ton of features compared to the first one.
Yeah, it's almost a brand new game entirely.
Pretty much. So I made a quick list of a lot of the new features here, and we can briefly discuss them. Let's start with, there's a Create Skater. You can make your own character in this game.
Woo!
You cannot do that in the first one.
Aww.
But you can do it in this one. Yay!
Woo!
There's a very, very disliked feature. It's called Big Drop. If you're too high up, when you land on the ground, it'll say Big Drop on the screen, and that means essentially if you land that jump, you will bail instead. So if you drop from a large distance, you will auto bail. This was not in future games. They was not liked.
That's such a hard punishment.
Yeah. The whole bit, why people didn't like it, is like, for a game that's all about doing combos, it feels like you're de-incentivizing doing big jumps, right?
Yeah.
Well, don't do big jumps because then you'll crash. It's like, well, how am I supposed to get big combos if you don't want me to do big jumps, you know? Manuals. They added manuals into this game. We did not have manuals in Pro Skater 1. They also have like a manual balancing bar. Kind of gives you an indicator of whether you're going to bail or not, which is cool. We're going to see that moving forward. Grinds do not have balance bars still. We get that in Pro Skater 3.
So, I get the no balance bar for the grinds yet. Like, you're supposed to watch the character and see where he's, like, leaning, right? It's just, like, it's also kind of just a pain in the ass, and I'd rather have the meter. But I get why they didn't put it on there.
They're trying new things, and for that we applaud them. You can change stances in this game. This would eventually kind of turn into revert in future games. You can switch between, you can change between switch and nollie. You get more points if you're in nollie stance. That's another thing we'll continue to see throughout the games. You can switch these stances. Skaters have a customizable moveset.
Yeah, they do.
You can change what moves everybody does. Their double tap moves is the first time we're seeing double tap moves in the series, which is like a rocket air, Christ air, sack tap, stuff like that, where you have to like tap a directional button twice and then hit the button. Additional grinds. So instead of just like a couple grinds, there's a bunch of different ones now. This is going to remain unchanged from this point forward. Like this, the grinding in this and the grinding, like the moves for grinding, stay the same throughout the rest of the series. This literally set the benchmark for
when you
what
got
grinding looks
perfect, you don't mess with it.
like. Pretty much. There's a cash system in this game. We'll talk about that.
Boo.
Yeah, we don't like it. When you complete goals, you get money for completing them. There's cash pickups in the levels that you can grab. You use money to buy stat points. You use money to buy new boards. I think maybe buy new clothes, stuff like that too. And then finally, there is the addition of the Creative Park system, where you can make your own skate park with custom gaps and stuff like that, which is crazy, right? You can make a custom park in this with your own custom gaps. Pro Skater 1+2, you cannot do that. You can make a park, but you can't do custom gaps, which is like, that killed me. What was the point? But yeah, that's all the new stuff. It's kind of like a ton for like a PS1 game. From going from like PlayStation game 1 to PlayStation game 2, like this is a ton of stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, like, think about like Tony Hawk 1 probably came out from like what, 98?
Probably something like that.
Maybe early 99.
Like 99, yeah.
This is like literally a year and a half later.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that was like alpha. This is beta. 3 was the finished product.
That's pretty much, right? That's definitely what it feels like, is like Pro Skater 1 is like an idea, Pro Skater 2 is like a thesis statement, and Pro Skater 3 is like the full paper. Let's talk about price. Do you want to talk about price, Alex?
Oh boy, would I ever love to talk about price.
It only came out on like 15 systems, so.
Okay, good old PlayStation 1.
The OG.
If you want a loose copy, you gotta pay $8.74. If you want a complete copy, you're gonna break the bank because you're gonna pay $8.79. Once again, it's like one of these things that we always, when we talk price, we always bring up. At that point, just buy the whole thing.
Just buy complete. Yep.
Then we got greatest hits. If you want it loose, $8.41, and if you want it complete, $12.45. What?
You're gonna pay the extra $4, baby. You want a complete.
If you want the green label.
Green label PS1 title. Oh, yeah.
Green label colorless disc. Yeah, that's totally worth an extra $4. Then we got the boy in the back, who everyone loves, the Dreamcast. That's just me showing my bias towards Dreamcast. Anyways, loose, $12.51. Same price as a complete greatest hits copy on the PS1. If you want it complete, you're paying $18.29.
Dreamcast games are a little rare, a little bit more sought after, harder to find, makes them worth a little bit more.
So when we were going to play this, we were originally going to play it on my Dreamcast. We did not play it on my Dreamcast.
Your disc is roached. You tried it on your system, it didn't read. You're like, it must be the system. You tried it on a different system, it still didn't read. We went to the game store, we buffed it, and it still did not work. I buffed it like 3 times, and it still did not work. I don't know what you did to that thing, but it was roached.
I bought it from the game store like that. You sold me a bad copy.
All right, dude. Yeah, well, it's like I'm back at work. Holy crap.
Moving on to, let's do the PC. Loose, $7.99. Complete, $8.37. I wonder if you can buy this on Steam. I wonder if it's cheaper to buy it on Steam.
It's probably not on Steam. A lot of that old stuff isn't. You can get, I think it's Thug. You want Underground. So on PC, I'm just going to make everyone's life super easy. You want Underground 1. I think it's Underground 1. Maybe it's Underground 2. You want one of the Thug games on PC because you can download this thing called Thug Pro. And Thug Pro is like a community mod for Thug that adds all the maps from all the pro skaters and everything into Thug. So essentially they're essentially rebuilding every single Tony Hawk level ever.
Jamie, pull that up. Jamie.
Yeah, they're like remaking every Tony Hawk level ever and just putting it into this thing that you can download.
That's crazy.
What sucks is you can't do goals. I don't know if they have the gaps. They definitely might, but maybe they don't. I don't remember. It was cool. I played around with it a number of years ago, and I was like, this is cool, but it feels like unfinished. Like I want a little bit more polish to it. But
then let's go to the handhelds. We got Game Boy Color starting out strong. That's right. It was on the color of all things.
Yeah.
Loose, $4.50. Go pick up that copy if you want it. Complete though,
Cardboard box.
cardboard box, touched by children. Not as expensive as I thought they would be. $19.95.
If you can find it.
Yeah,
I'm
if
sure,
you can find it.
I'm sure it's more than that due to availability, but yeah.
Then we go to Game Boy Advance. We move up a generation. Loose, $7.27. Obviously, we're getting a bit more quality. Complete, $20 again, basically. I mean, it's just wild.
$40. Have it on both your handhelds.
Let's be real though. How nice would it look in the collection if there's just those two complete
It
in
would
box?
be pretty sweet.
We got the greatest cardboard demon of them all, because you're paying an arm and a leg to summon it to you. That is the N64 complete. I'm sorry, loose 1628. That's just the game. That's just the plastic. Let's talk about the cardboard. Complete $49.95. So I don't even remember how I got it. I have a complete inbox copy of this on N64, and I never touch it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I literally went out and bought another copy so I could just leave that one alone.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I think we talked about it once before. The real cardboard winner is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on the N64.
That one's crazy expensive.
It's like $120 or something.
Yeah, that's the tough one to find on 64 is 3. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some levels. Going to Josh's hometown at the hangar in Mullet Falls, Montana.
Mullet Falls, for reference, is not a real place.
Josh doesn't want you to find out where he lives.
My friend asked me once, "Oh, is Mullet Falls, Montana, a real place?" I said, "No, it's not. What a stupid name." And I said, "Also, it's a secret military base. Even if Mullet Falls was real and the hangar was based on a real place, why would I know that? I don't have the classification."
Josh, why are you deflecting so hard?
This sucks, man. Up next is School 2, Southern California. I think School 2 is a stupid name. They should have just called it School, because School 1 was in Pro Skater 1.
Yep.
But I think School 2 is a stupid name. So they should have just called it, like, something different.
They could have just called it High School.
Yeah, if you had School and High School, that would make sense. School 1 and School 2.
Or they could, if they were trying to go for the trilogy, they could have called School, Middle School, and then they could have done High School.
I don't think there are any other Pro Skater levels that are numbered like that, where it's like Mall 1, Mall 2, like they're different. Because we had, what was the Downhill Jam one was like Chicago Mall, or
Yeah.
it was something like that, right? Where it was like, yeah, there's Mall and Chicago Mall, but there's not like Mall 1, Mall 2, right?
Then we got
Go for it.
Marseille.
Whoa, not even close. It's Marseille.
Marseille.
Yeah.
Oh, it's France.
Yeah, Marseille, France. First time we're leaving America in the series is to go to a tournament in France.
It's all because we went to Mullet Falls.
And break into a spooky underground catacomb.
This level wasn't included in the Game Boy Color version. Gee, I wonder why.
You're going to see that with a lot of these where they did not put some of these... Like, some of these did not exist in the Game Boy Color game, some of these did not exist in the Game Boy Advance game, and then some don't exist in both.
And, all right, for the people that may not know, these levels are huge, especially when you talk about, like, a Game Boy Color cartridge and a Game Boy Advance cartridge. The whole level in the PlayStation version would take up the entirety of the cartridge if they were to put it in.
Yep.
So, I mean, like, it makes sense that they only chose, like, the best, places for the game.
Yep. Next is New York City, New York.
I wonder where that is.
It's in New York.
Do you think it's a real place?
It's in New York City, New York. No, it's not real.
Okay. Is it a secret hangar base?
No.
Oh.
New York is not a real place. You got subways, you got 2 taxis, you got basketball hoops, public art. It's just like New York.
Exactly like
exactly what New York City's like.
Hannah's calling us right now.
Yeah, I've been in New York City, and it is exactly like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 level. I'll tell you right now.
Then we go to Venice, California, not including the Game Boy Advance version.
Venice Beach sucks. That level sucks.
It's not good.
It's just too... It's not even too big. It's just like... It's segmented weirdly. weirdly. They start you.
It doesn't flow well.
Yeah, the lines are weird. Anyways, next is Skate Street in Ventura, California. Skate Street is a skate park, indoor skate park. So that one's fun.
It's an indoor skate park called Skate Street.
Shut the hell up, man. No, I'm kidding. Next is Philadelphia, not included in the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance versions. Philadelphia is an okay level, in my opinion.
Philadelphia is an okay place.
It is not always sunny in Philadelphia in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. There's
It's got charm.
It's there's 4 things to do. That's the issue with a lot of the early Pro Skater levels. Is okay, there's the fountain, there's the awning, and then there's the hidden little skate park, and that's it, right? There's some stuff along the way, but it's pretty much those things, and that's it.
A lot of times playing 1 and 2, I had a lot of trouble finding good areas to skate in, which maybe that felt a little too close to real life. Because I'm sure there's skaters out there that they're like, oh, you gotta hit this one bench, and that's the only place that's doable.
Yeah.
And then they have to go somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you think for a game, you want the constant going, so that you don't lose focus.
So in Pro Skater 1, the warehouse level, right, the training level in the beginning, you go down the ramp, you jump over the half pipe, you jump over the taxi, you hit a half pipe. From the half pipe, you can grind, go left and right. There's more ramps. It's all kind of condensed right there. Yeah, some of these levels, they're just big, and you
they're a little empty.
Yeah, you have to traverse the level to get to the things, right?
It just feels weird.
Yeah.
Even when I think of Thug and Thug 2, which are big levels, there's always things to do along the way.
This pretty much gets solved in 3.
Yeah.
Where they're Canada is a perfect example of a level that flows.
Canada's so good.
There's rails, there's bowls, there's ramps, everything you want.
Half pipes.
It's all right there. Yep. Then you beat the game, right? Philadelphia's the last level.
Yeah.
Then you unlock the Bull Ring, Mexico, which is the true final level. This is not included in the Game Boy Advance version. Bull Ring has a big loop-de-loop that you can go through. Scramble your damn brains if you try it on the PS1. The graphics do not like doing that. Going upside down is not a thing that the game was built for. There's a bull. He runs around the ring.
It's
big half pipe in the middle.
It's kind of crazy. I think we had one of the cheats on though during it, which made it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, what was the cheat you're referring to?
I think we had disco flying.
Oh, yeah, we did have disco, which turned every separate pipe and rail and stuff a different color.
Yeah,
it's kind of neat.
If it was a big polygon block, it would change the color of everything.
Yep.
Very disorienting when you're trying to play.
Okay, so then you beat Bull Ring, right? Then you unlock Chopper Drop in Hawaii, which is essentially just a half pipe and a jump.
Which is not included in the color or the advanced version.
And then probably one of the worst Tony Hawk levels ever created, Skate Heaven in Outer
So bad
Space.
they left it out of the advance.
And then when you start that level, God goes, "Skate on, my son."
Look, I'm going to be real. I didn't really think Chopper Drop or Skate Heaven were good levels.
Yeah.
They're very one-trick pony levels.
I like Chopper Drop because I like the idea of having just kind of a free skate half pipe, mess around, figure out tricks, what works, right? But Skate Heaven is huge, and some of the things in the level are just too much. I could not imagine wanting to play through it because it's rough.
The problem is that they're tough combos and they're long.
Yeah.
And if you break or fall, that's it. You got to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's completely unforgiving.
It's rough. It is rough for sure. Okay, there's a couple other levels here I'll mention quick. PC and iOS exclusive. iOS, you say? You guys didn't mention iOS. They re-released this on, it was called THPS HD. They did that. It was 1 and 2, I think, together, or maybe it was just 2. But yeah, this had a couple extra levels on PC and iOS. You had Warehouse Chicago and Downhill Jam, which are all Pro Skater 1 levels.
Downhill Jam, you say?
I don't want to talk about it. Those levels were just from Pro Skater 1. That's also something they did in Pro Skater 2X, right? 2X had,
Yep.
on Xbox, had all of Pro Skater 1 and the Pro Skater 2 levels just in one game, because Xbox did not get Pro Skater 1 until later.
Solid version, though, that they should have released on all the consoles, in my opinion.
And then we got a couple more. N64 exclusive
Woo,
Hoffman Factory in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
This is all the extra money is for that one level.
All the extra money on N64 is for Matt Hoffman's factory. You can bike around or something stupid like that.
Matt's in the bleachers going, yeah, do a kickflip.
It's just him. It is just, there's no music. He just goes, woo! Do a kickflip, yeah.
He just
Tony.
berates you very lightly.
Yeah, when you crash, he goes, oh, biking's way better than skateboarding. And you're like, shut up, Matt
Bet
Hoffman.
you wish that was a bike.
Yeah, shut up, Matt Hoffman.
None of this is real, by the way.
Yeah, I do not know what Hoffman Factory
But if you would
looks
like to make a mod.
Then there's a couple Game Boy Advance exclusive ones. There's the Warehouse in Troy, New York, Troy, New York, which is just same thing, Pro Skater 1 level. And then Rooftops in Boston.
Boston?
You're wicked awesome. No, you are. No,
Yo, that's so wicked awesome, man.
No, it is. Your rack is wicked awesome. That's something like that, I think
Yeah.
it says, right? You're awesome. No, you are. Yeah, it's Thug 2
Look,
reference.
we've offended people from Oklahoma City, Philadelphia, and now Boston, and New York. We're on a freaking track roll.
I want to talk about some of these levels we didn't talk about. Some of these. Hangar is one of my favorite intro levels. It's not as good as Training, in my opinion, but Hangar is...
Hangar's solid.
Yep. Pro Skater 1 plus 2, it is like one of the handful of levels I can just straight up do in the 2-minute time limit. I can do every single goal in like a minute and a half. Because it's all just like really condensed in a good way. School 2, big level, kind of a good example of what a big level in 2 looks like compared to 1. Because School 1 was kind of a big level for Pro Skater 1. But same thing, it has the issue where it's kind of empty. Whereas School 2 is a little empty, but overall I still feel like there's a lot to do.
There's a lot of areas to hit when you're riding around.
And there's some hidden areas too. You can unlock the high school and go into the pool and go into the basketball court and mess around in there, which is nice.
The pool's a solid area to just, learn to skate and stuff, honestly.
Marseille, I really like Marseille's level. The issue is you pretty much only play it in competition. So unless you go into free skate, you're going to be like, what is this level, right? Because you only play it for like a little bit at a time. Yeah, New York City's okay. It's not my favorite. There's like verticality because you have to skate the subway tracks to get to the other half of the level pretty much. So it's like this weirdly like divided level where you have to kind of devote yourself to going to one side or the other.
Let's talk a little bit about the difference in Tony Hawk controls. I would say, once you hit 3 onward, you're kind of spoiled.
3's perfect.
I think back to the point that like we've been playing on these same controls for so long now that you just expect it. And when a Tony Hawk game doesn't have those controls, it instantly like just falls on its face.
So,
and this is pre those controls.
Both of the PS1 titles, PS1 or Pro Skater 1 and Pro Skater 2, have the same issue in that the controls are bad. They're not good.
They're tough.
They're still figuring it out, and you can tell.
Are they playable? Yes.
Are they fun? Yes. Do they take more than a little bit of getting used to? Absolutely.
Do they really test your patience at times?
Does Tony,
100%.
Does Tony have the turn radius of like a
double wide semi?
Like a Chevy Escalade. Yeah, absolutely correct. Yeah, he turns like a fucking semi truck. It'll take you 30 seconds to turn him around. Especially if you jump and miss something and you have to turn around, God forbid, you might as well just start the level over. It's probably faster. It's fun, but woof, it is rough.
Yeah.
I think pretty much everybody will agree that if you wanted to play Pro Skater 1 and Pro Skater 2, the best way to play them is probably the 1+2 remake. Those have modern controls. This is rough. It's fun to go back to
it's
and
very
see what it's like, but
nostalgic.
it is dated controls for sure.
Like,
It feels like a PS1 game, and I do not mean that in a positive way.
Even in all of our frustration, we were still having quite a bit of fun.
Oh yeah,
We were frustrated, but like, we were laughing at it because we're like, this is ridiculous. There's a reason they continued to further progress with the controls so much. And honestly, it's kind of the reason why Tony Hawk 3 gets some extra forgiveness points, even though it doesn't need them. It's because they got the controls 100% on.
It's like three is where we really nail it. Like 2 is like we're getting some of the things right, but 3 is like boom, we nailed it. This is what Tony Hawk should look like.
In all honesty, if it weren't for the controls, this game would be just as good as 3.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying just go play 1+2 Remake, because it has modern controls and you're playing these levels that are still pretty decent.
Like, the game wasn't bad, it just had trouble.
Yep. Let's talk about the soundtrack.
Oh my god, let's talk about the soundtrack.
There's 15 tracks.
So hyped.
Okay, I'm just going to read through them, and if you have something to say, then say it. Blood Brothers by Papa Roach.
My god, if that wasn't on everybody's iPod that was in the rock scene or like the skate scene or somewhere in the middle, I don't know who you were if you didn't have that on there.
Bring the Noise.
This song
Bring the Noise
is like a staple within my childhood.
Lights Out, Guerrilla Radio by Rage the Machine. Bow now, bow now.
I listened to this entire album front to back to the point that my CD got a burn ring.
Pin the Tail on the Donkey by Naughty by Nature.
Solid song. It's not a song that I normally listen to, but when it comes on, I still jam in the game.
You by Bad Religion. Bad Religion. Holy
yeah,
moly.
Bad Religion. Bad Religion does not get the hype that they deserve still. They are such a good punk band. They are a true punk band.
When Worlds Collide by Power Man 5000.
Bro, Rob Zombie's brother just on there singing, When Worlds Collide. 100% jam. When we were playing and that came on, I was like, no way did this song make the cut.
Yep. No Cigar by Millen Collin, which, fun fact, Tony said this was his favorite song on the game.
Tony, I can't bash you. Can't bash you, Tony. It's a good song.
It's no Amoeba, I'll tell you that, man.
Yeah, it's no Amoeba.
B-Boy Document 99 by The High and Mighty, featuring Mos Def and Mad Skills.
Talk about a classic rap song.
Cyclone by Dub Pistols.
Also a solid song.
May 16th by Lagwagon.
To be honest, this is the one I don't remember that much.
Subculture by Styles of Beyond.
Solid.
Heavy Metal Winter by Consumed. Evil Eye by Fu Manchu.
Is that who it was? Oh yeah, it was Fu Manchu. Besides the name, solid.
Out with the Old by Black Planet Music, credited as Alley Life, who provided vocals.
It's alright.
It's alright, okay. 5 Lessons Learned by Swingin' Utters.
Solid song.
Yeah, it's not my favorite soundtrack, but it's alright.
It's so solid though. I'm not mad at it. I can jam with it.
What do you notice about this soundtrack that's different than some of the other Tony Hawk games?
It's not as punky.
Yep, there's more hip hop.
Yep.
This is more hip hop focused, which in 3 and onwards we get like a mix of rock.
We
punk.
get a good half and half almost.
No, not even. We get like a thirds, because you get hip hop, punk, and rock, which are literally. I think it's one of the Thugs, or maybe it's American Wasteland. You can literally break up. You can turn each section of the soundtrack into that, where it'll be like. You can turn rock on or off. You can turn punk on or off. You can turn hip hop on and off.
It's wild.
Those are the 3 genres that we get in these games. So
we don't need more than those 3 genres for a Tony Hawk game, in my opinion. Skating pretty much embodies the energy that are those 3 genres.
We got a couple secret skaters. You want to guess who they are?
Please let me say that Officer Dick is in there.
Of course he is.
One that I really enjoyed seeing was 80s Tony.
80s Tony. Yeah,
we played around with him.
They call him McSqueeb.
McSqueeb.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Was there a girl character that was on that couple?
Private Carrera. Who has moves called the Ho Slide and Ho Ho Ho. Pretty good. Good thing we're not being derogatory to women in this game.
Absolutely not. Stop staring over here.
And then everybody's favorite wall crawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
The uncanny Spider-Man.
Yes.
Nightcrawler. Yeah, Spider-Man is in the game. Like the PS1 Spider-Man.
Look, I'm not gonna lie.
He has the audio Like, they got the voice actor from... Because Neversoft did Spider-Man,
Yeah.
the first one, on PS1. They got the voice actor who played Spider-Man in that game to do, like, lines in this game, and
So
it
good.
is so good. By far, probably one of the best Secret Skaters the series has ever done.
I really miss like the crazy secret skaters that we got in the early games. So we got Iron Man, we got Spider-Man, we got Wolverine, we got Darth Maul, we got all these amazing characters.
Gene Simmons.
And Gene Simmons, yep. And then because of licensing in later games, we didn't get any of that.
Yeah, Shrek.
We didn't get Shrek. I forgot.
Every time you
Shrek.
say the skaters, you always forget Shrek.
I know.
So one that immediately jumps in my mind is you could play as Shrek in Thug 2. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about these a little bit. Officer Dick, I don't know how you unlock him. I could not find definitive proof. I think you just need to do like 100% classic mode.
Yeah, it's something like that.
With a character. You get Officer Dick. 80s Tony you unlock by doing 100% completion with Tony. Again, citation needed. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
entirely sure. Private Career, you have to get every gap in the game. Yeah, good fucking luck with that. For this game, holy shit. No thanks.
Any gaps in any of the games are like...
No, all the gaps in like 3 and on is fine because you can control your character. Doing all the gaps in this, imagine doing all the gaps in the Skate Heaven in this. In Pro Skater 1+2, I think there's like...
dies inside.
On average, there's like 30 gaps a level or something, like 30 to 50. Okay? In Skate Heaven and Pro Skater 1+2, there's like double the amount. There's like 83 gaps in Skate Heaven.
Jesus.
Drove me up the wall doing it. It was mind-boggling. I did it. Not only did I do it, I did it twice. I did it for the PS4 version and the PS5 version. Holy crap, man. No thanks. And then Spider-Man, you got to get 100% career with Create a Skater.
100% what?
Create a Skater. Completion? What?
We'll just play it back later.
What? What did I say?
Said courier.
100% career. What?
You said courier, though.
Whatever, man.
Look, he's Carrie Bale.
To unlock Spider-Man in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. To unlock I'm going to do a clean take and we're going to leave it on the floor, okay? To unlock Spider-Man, you have to get 100% completion in career mode with a Create a Skater. You can unlock Trixie.
Trixie?
On the Xbox and Dreamcast versions, she replaces Private Carrera.
Does she love Timmy?
I don't know, but maybe Private Career was too sexy for the Xbox and the Dreamcast. And then you can unlock Mindy in the GBA version. She replaces Private Career and Officer Dick.
Nintendo would want that.
Yeah. Private Carrera, I've got some fun facts about her. Private Carrera is rumored to be based off a porn star. If you ask the Neversoft team, they will say it's not true. It's based off the car.
Sure.
And then they invited the porn star to the Neversoft studio, and everybody was very psyched that she came. But we promise that the character is based on the car.
It's not her, guys. Stop.
Named after the car, not the porn star. We promise. We promise.
And then we found the best bit of information, in my opinion, which you uncovered. I don't know where from, because when I was looking at the game, I never saw this.
So on the Korean version of the game, there's 4 bonus skaters.
What?
They're from the K-pop band Fin KL.
Which stands for Fine Liberty Killing.
No,
Fine Killing Liberty.
There you go. Lee Hyo-ri, Ak Joo-hyun, Lee Jin, and Sung Yoo-ri.
Okay, we don't want to get ID'd.
That's a copyright strike right there, dude. We're going to have FinKL lawyers coming after us. Completing the game with one of these members is not possible because the game crashes. So that's pretty good. All right, let's talk about what we thought about this game.
All right, well, let's just dig straight into it. It was good, yes. It was headache-inducing as well. The controls are such a big scheme in Tony Hawk games that when we, like we said earlier, when you don't have the controls that we know, the game falls flat on its face. It's just not the same quality. It's not the same amazing starriness that it is. Now, let's take it back to 2000, reel it back in there.
Hey,
My
complain
options are 1998 Tony Hawk Pro Skater
or
or
Spyro the Dragon.
Spyro the Dragon or 2000 Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I'm gonna be pretty happy with Pro Skater 2. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, like, it's solid level builds, achievable goals that aren't far fetched, lots of unlockables. You know, if honestly, if it wasn't for the controls and the money system, I'd be a 10 out of 10.
I agree with that. The money system does not thrill me. I do not like having to collect the stupid little money things. 'Cause that's one of the goals. Is like you have to clear all the goals and get all the money. That's like the final goal in each level. So you have to get all the little dollar bills that they've hidden around, which is misery. Because they're not like big or easy to spot. Usually, like some of them are like hidden.
They're well
pretty
hidden.
Yeah, some of them are hidden pretty well. Yeah, what I like about this game, and I'll keep harping on it, is that this really gives us the skeleton of Tony Hawk, right? Pro Skater 3 says, boom, here I have created a human. I have given him life, and he exists, and he's a human. And
Rise, Frankenhawk.
Exactly. It's like he is a child, and let him bumble into the world and figure out how things work. Whereas this is like not a complete human. This is the skeleton, and it's cool, and it almost works, but it kind of doesn't. But it provides us this basis on which we will continue to iterate on for literally decades to come.
When I think Pro Skater and Pro Skater 2, I think of literal building blocks. Here's block 1, here's block 2, we put them together. Now I can sport block 3 on top of all that.
Yeah, this does give us like essentially like a basic structure for what all future Tony Hawks will kind of look like in some ways. So, but yeah, agreed, the controls are woof. Like I said, it feels like a PS1 game. That's not great here.
There's PS1 games that are timeless, and then there's PS1 games that feel like a PS1 game. I enjoyed every minute I played of it. I can't bash it to be like, it was bad and I won't go back to it. I could see myself taking the challenge to actually play through the PS1 version. It's fun and unique, and it definitely calls back to a time when there was a hard limit to what could be created. Would I do it more than one time? No.
It's like neat to play through, but Skate Heaven alone makes me look at this game and just say no. Not a chance. Not a chance.
It's tough, to say the least.
That being said, talking about Skate Heaven, there are tons of memorable levels that do really stand out. And I think do really hold up. Like
Mullet Falls, Montana!
Dude, Hangar's a fun level. I like School 2 more than I like School 1 just because it flows a little bit better.
Is it because there's also 2 after it?
No, it's because the level's good and School 1 sucks. But yeah, tons of these levels stand out. Philadelphia even. These are a ton of levels we'll see in stuff like Thug 1, Thug 2. When we look at the classic modes, a bunch of these levels return. So we'll see stuff like that. Like Mall, I think, shows up a couple times. Yeah, so we'll see a ton of these levels coming back throughout the years, too. They get
a lot of them are like secret levels and stuff that you can just unlock. I think Thug had a couple, right?
Yeah, I think Thug had, a handful. But I think it was... I don't think Thug 1 had a classic mode, not like Thug 2 and American Wasteland do. Because Thug 2 and American Wasteland have a separate set of levels for classic mode. So it'll be like Barcelona is like a level that you can play through in classic mode in Thug 2. But you also play through, some of these old levels from Pro Skater 1 and 2 and stuff like that.
I mean, like, also, like, taking into consideration, Tony Hawk, Activision in their prime here, and Neversoft also in their prime. I don't think they chose every option that benefited the players in the game and not just the corporate heads. Bringing back old levels to new games, continuing the trend of like these, characters that started off early in the series, making returns, keeping cheat codes around and having fun with them and not like making them like...
Yeah, you can tell they had fun making it.
It feels good. It feels like it was a game that was loved by its creator and not just made.
The last thing I've got to say here is about Skate Heaven again. I hate this level. It sucks. To give you an idea of what you should just go, I'll look it up on YouTube, Skate Heaven, Pro Skater 2. There's a big snake run. Okay, so you start, there's like a little half pipe on your right, there's some bleachers, there's a little clover bowl. There's a big snake run, turns to a big like loop-de-loop. There's another huge half pipe next to like Tony's house. It's like an island with Tony's house is the idea. You can grind on this huge rail. I wasn't able to do it. I tried multiple times. But that unlocks this like volcano. Then you go jump in the volcano. It gives you like a half pipe little secret spot. There's a hallway to this little downstairs area, which has like a huge walkway that you can skate and grind on. It's very big and not very fun to play. And there's a bajillion gaps in its misery.
Yeah, thinking back on that is not a fun, reminiscent time.
Yeah, I think the rest of the game is like fine, but Skate Heaven is insufferable. It is rough.
It does not make me feel good.
Yeah, agreed.
It does not fill me with joy.
Well, let me pull up a little trivia here. I've got a touch. There are several versions of the game that contain following unused content: Pro Skater 1 levels, beta Freeway level. Freeway, I think, would like show up. Freeway was a Pro Skater 1 beta level. Find what else. There's also a Rastapopoulos skater model.
Rastapopoulos?
He's the dude in the skate shop.
Hell yeah.
I think in 3. Am I correct on that?
You mean he's not the Steve Peralta? Or, I'm sorry, Stacy Peralta. He's not
You always say Steve
I don't
Peralta.
know why.
He was in Pro Skater 1 in the like betas, but he was not in the final release. Pro Skater 2, he's on the skateboard selection screen as a static image. Pro Skater 3, he's at the main menu behind the counter of the shop. He's like the Rasta dude who works at the skate shop in 3. So there's a model for him in the game, but it's not really used. And then there's an unused chunk of rail data for School 2. There's like some rails that never got used.
Weird.
But yeah.
Makes you wonder about that type of stuff, though.
As of January 2010, it's the second best scoring video game ever reviewed. Behind, you want to guess?
Mario 64, I don't know.
Okay, you're close. It's not Mario, but it is on the 64. Best ever reviewed game. Higher than Pro Skater 2. I'm going to say it, and you're going to be like, oh, duh.
Quake 64.
You think Quake 64 was rated higher than Pro Skater 2?
No, oh my god. What would be greater than that?
Best game on the 64, by far.
Best game on the 64?
Yeah, and don't say something stupid like Iggy's Wrecking Balls or like Super Bowling.
PGA Tour. Or PGA European Tour.
I'm going to give you one more guess, and then because I'm frustrated at your stupid joke when I told you not to make a joke, I'm just going to say what it is.
Best game on the 64, in my opinion, would definitely be probably Paper Mario 1000.
Fool.
Or 1000.
Thousand Year Door?
Where's my
Year
brain?
Door?
Paper Mario. Just Paper Mario. My god.
No. Ocarina of Time.
Oh my god.
I told you I was going to say it. You're going to be like, oh, duh. Yeah, Ocarina of Time. So as of 2010...
How can I forget Ocarina of all things?
As of 2010, it is... Yeah, I said name the best 64 game, and you said a GameCube game. So, I don't know, man. As of 2010, Pro Skater 2 is the second best scoring video game ever reviewed behind Ocarina of Time, according to Metacritic. And according to Game Rankings, 20th best scoring video game ever.
Jeez.
I think we said that about 3, too. I think 3 was, like, really, like, lauded as being, like, an amazing game.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like, you can't argue with it that these are great games. You know, the replayability on any Tony Hawk game is through the roof. Which makes me still wonder why they won't just remake all of them. Suck it up. Make it happen.
PlayStation version got a 10 out of 10 from Game Informer.
Agree.
It somehow got a Platinum Award from EGM twice, so making it the only game in the magazine's history to ever get it twice. I don't know if it was from a different version or they like gave it a 10 for the PS1 and then gave it a 10 for the 64 or something like that. But later they retconned it and said no, it only gets one Platinum Award. So they're all just cowards.
Screw EGM.
Yeah, they're all just cowards in my opinion. The Game Boy Advance version received particular acclaim for being an accurate translation of the series.
Look, I was playing a Game Boy Advance game, and I forgot how nice they are.
This is the first of 3 games to have a Marvel cameo. You want to name the other 2? I think you already did, maybe earlier.
Yeah, it's Wolverine and Iron Man.
Yep, correct.
Iron Man is pretty sweet.
So the pogo shows up. Pogo stick trick. I know, trivia. Pogo appears as a special air trick in game.
What?
When you're in the air, you do it like put it between your legs like a pogo stick, and then put it back. But then it doesn't show back up till underground as a manual extension. So.
Yeah, I remember pogoing in underground for extra points all the time.
Yeah. That's the trivia I have. Isn't that fun?
It's so much fun.
One of the pieces of trivia was like, the manual is in this game, and the manual would continue to be used in future Tony Hawk games. That's not trivia, man. That's just a fact, okay?
The real interesting stuff, I think, is outside the U.S. stuff, right? Like the board that got renamed and the, the Korean characters
four
that
Korean
were added.
characters,
Yeah, or the 4 Korean idol characters or whatever.
Okay.
Stuff like that's so unique that I wish they had like an international version that just had all of that.
EGM on the 64 gave it a 9 out of 10. Eurogamer, the PlayStation and Dreamcast, gave it a 9 out of 10. Famitsu, out of 40. Guess?
38.
You wish. 28.
What? Famitsu, how could you? I believed in you.
Game Informer, PlayStation, 10 out of 10. 64, 9.25 out of 10. Game Fan, you're going to love this, out of 300. What do you think they gave Pro Skater 2 out of 300?
262.
Oh, you were so close. PlayStation's 268.
Oh my god.
And then on the Dreamcast, they gave it higher. They gave it 275 out of 300 on the Dreamcast. Game Pro and 64, they gave it a 3 out of 5. Game Revolution on Dreamcast and PlayStation gave it a 5 out of 5. GameSpot, wow, these guys.
GameSpot, jeez.
PlayStation Dreamcast, 9.9 out of 10. Just give it the 10, dude. Are you kidding me? 9 point... Yeah, I give it a 9.9995 out of 10. Just give it the freaking 10, dude.
We're going to round that one up.
N64 got a 9.5. PC got an 8.6. Games Radar Plus gave N64 a 92%. IGN gave the Dreamcast version a 9.9, PlayStation a 9.6, PC a 9.3, and 64 an 8.6. Next Generation on PlayStation gave it 5 stars, and the official US PlayStation Magazine gave it 5 out of 5.
Look, looking back, if you just had Pro Skater and Pro Skater 2, yes, it's a 95, a 99 out of 100. Looking at every other Tony Hawk game that's been released since, this is like a solid, 80 out of 100. 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10 game still.
David Smith of IGN praised the tightness of the game's control as being in a rarefied category with games like Quake 3 and Soul Calibur.
See, Quake was mentioned.
Quake, yeah. I guess you're right, dude. Quake 2 is just better than Tony Hawk is, I guess.
Woo!
Games that do, Quake 3 and Soul Calibur, games that do exactly what you want them to, exactly when you want them to. So, boom, they were like, this game controls well, like Soul Calibur and Quake 3.
And then they played Pro Skater 3 and were like, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, then they played Pro Skater 3 and they were like, holy shit, gaming just changed forever. Greg Orlando from Next Generation gave it the 5 stars, and he said, stop reading, go buy, hurry, and consider stoplights to be a suggestion. So,
bro,
Greg Orlando,
that dude is awesome.
Greg Orlando suggested you break the law to get a copy of Pro Skater 2 as fast as possible. It was the top-selling PlayStation title for 2 consecutive weeks.
Hell yeah.
In the UK, it got a Platinum Sales Award, which is at least 300,000 copies in England were sold.
That's wild.
PC version, 32,000 copies sold. Earned $8 million. Have you heard that story Tony Hawk told? Some dude asked him how much he made on the Pro Skater games.
Yeah.
And they're like, how much did you make? He's like, yeah. So the Neversoft guys came up to me and they just gave me a check. And it was like, we were like, how much was it? He was like, yeah, it was 7 digits, right? It's $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Probably more than $1 million. Probably they probably just handed Tony a check for $3 million or something like that. They were like, thanks.
Here you go.
Here's your pay, sir. This is the 58th best-selling computer game in the United States between 2000 and 2006. That's like a big spread. Like 58th best for like 6 whole years seems pretty alright.
You just can't argue how good it is.
Holy shit. So Pro Skater's computer version sold 320,000 copies and earned $8 million by 2006.
Oh.
So I said that already, right? Game Boy Advance copy sold 680,000 copies.
That's it?
What do you mean that's it, dude? That's almost 700,000 for the Game Boy Advance?
That's wild.
That's almost 700,000 copies. Guess how much it made? Guess how much it made?
Oh. I don't know. Those are sold at like what, $40 a piece or something back in the day?
Something like that.
I don't know. It probably made like close to $1.5 million.
Not even close.
What?
Keep going.
$3 million.
Keep going. Not even close.
$8 million.
Keep going.
Whoa. No way. Oh my god. 12.
Keep going.
20?
Try 24.
24?
$24 million.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild.
Yes, agreed. That is wild that a Game Boy Advance game made fucking $24 million. Yes, the 38th highest selling game launched for the GBA, Nintendo DS, or PSP. Pretty whack.
Whack is an understatement.
Won Video Game of the Year 2000 in EGM. Won GameSpot's Best Sports Game in 2000. In 2003, it was rated number 20 in IGN's Top 100 Games of All Time.
How do you think Madden and FIFA felt when Tony Hawk was a game?
And continues to win. Yeah, Pro Skater 3 came out a year later. Pretty wild.
Isn't that the
like this
time frame between 1 and 3 is absolutely ridiculous.
This came out, and then they looked at the PS2 and were like, holy shit. This thing could run Pro Skater 2 like 15 times over. Like, the power that this PlayStation 2 holds is insane.
Activision never fought for dev units hard, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that is true. Well, that's all I had. So let me tell you why this game...
why does it deserve backlog status?
Yeah, hey, that's such a great question, man. We kind of talked about it a lot, but... while being a little rough...
It's a good game.
Oh, my goodness. Holy shit, you scared me. While being a little rough around the edges, Pro Skater 2 provided the series could change for better in a huge way, right? And that's what I really appreciate. If Pro Skater 1 is signs of life on a distant planet, then Pro Skater 2 is the definitive evidence that there is life here. This is a skeleton, right? But the issue with a skeleton is with no connective tissue, like in Pro Skater 3, which is a fully fledged human being. No connective tissue means your skeleton kind of just falls apart the moment it hits anything, much like the skaters do when you make a big drop in this game.
Big drop.
Big drop. So while this game is more than a little rough around the edges, this deserves play just by a historical basis. I mean, this won the Platinum Award from EGM twice. No other game has done that ever, and probably ever will ever again. So this is worth checking out just because it is such a great historical basis, and obviously it's Hawktober. Play it. It's Hawktober.
Just play it.
What other excuse do you need?
Download
it on
What
iOS.
else are you doing? It's Hawktober. What?
Preferably go play the remake because it controls so smooth.
I'm sorry, you in school? Stop it. Just stop. Stop going. Play Tony Hawk games.
Or go get like Thug Pro and play all the levels there too. I'm sure they're all on there now. Catch me manualing down the street, man, in Philadelphia. On the 3 things in Philadelphia: the skate park, the fountain, and the building. Yippee!
Josh, we offended way too many people for you to be manualing anywhere.
I'm gonna manual around and get beat up. That's the guy who made fun of our city.
Get him!
Yeah, this is going to be it tonight, I think, for us.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for
on a very unhinged,
living through Josh's harassment of various places.
A very unhinged episode of Hawktober here.
Well, Tony Hawk 2 is a very unhinged Tony Hawk.
Yeah, that's true. This game made us a little unhinged, I think. We're going to have 2 more eps. We're halfway through Hawktober.
That's right.
So we're going to have We're going to have a rare 2 for next week, I think. Is that next week or is it 2 weeks?
It should be next week.
Okay. Yeah, next week we're going to have a rare 2-fer where we burn through 2 Tony Hawk games instead of 1.
Here's a hint.
Wow, those sure do sound like small plastic objects that could easily be inserted to some kind of handheld device.
They certainly sound like small plastic objects that somehow just sold
$24 million.
dollars.
$24 million. Yeah, we're going to play 2 of the Game Boy Advance ones. We're still kind of deciding which ones we're going to play here. But yeah, we'll have a couple Game Boy Advance games for you to compare and contrast and see what the handheld side. How's Vicarious holding down the fort? And then we'll have one very special big boy at the end.
What could it be?
We haven't played the actually good Tony Hawk game yet this year. So
it's hard to think about that because we played Downhill Jam, Diamond in the Rough.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like not perfect, but yeah, it was fun. This was great.
We played Tony Hawk 2. Awesome game.
Great game. Yeah.
And we still haven't played the good one.
We still have, quote, the good one left. Yeah, so that should be fun.
And, who knows? These wonderful small cartridges might be good, too.
They could be gems as well. Well, before we walk away here, we should rank it.
Okay. Rankings.
Do you want the current rankings? I have them.
I believe I have them as well.
Thug, Pro Skater 3, Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, Downhill Jam, and Project 8.
Okay, do we agree on where this goes?
I'm almost certain that we do.
I say it goes below
Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Perfect. I was nervous for a moment that you were going to put Downhill Jam above Pro Skater 2, and I was like, whoa, you really love Downhill Jam. Yeah, so that's going to leave us. We're still on the same page. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We haven't deviated yet.
I'm sure we will eventually. I think we will later this month.
Maybe this month. This might be where we start losing track.
That puts the current rankings as Underground 1, Pro Skater 3, Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, Pro Skater 2, Downhill Jam, and Project 8.
We don't talk about the bottom ones.
Ugh. Yeah, no kidding.
Make a line across the
Yeah, there's playable Tony Hawk games, and there was Project 8. So man, that game was rough. Okay, well I think that's gonna be it for us. We'll see you next week when we play some more Tony Hawk gems. So thanks so much for listening, and enjoy the rest of your Hawktober.
Josh, do a manual.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey guys, he's over here. Come get him. Go get him.
Hey, I'm gonna manual down your staircase. That's me getting hit with all the things by other people.
It's all the trash being thrown at you.
Get him. There's the blimey yellow-bellied American who said British people are dumb.
Let's get him.
No, Hawktober. This isn't cool or in the spirit of the season at all.
Oh, here comes little Timmy.
No. Oh, you didn't even know. You broke your hand on that one.
That hurt real bad.
Little Timmy didn't even do anything. He was just trying to learn how to do a manual.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.